You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Is everyone excited to be at Star Wars Celebration?
My mind exploded.
Star Wars has the best fans.
This is amazing!
It's an incredible family experience for a lot of people. It's awesome!
Awesome.
So awesome!
I am Cuba, and welcome to the Modern Retro Podcast. I'm joined by Aaron over there, by the way.
Hi.
This is our recap of Star Wars Celebration Orlando 2017.
Booyah.
Because of all the content and everything that we experience and all of our stories of going down to Celebration, I'm actually going to split this up into two parts. This is our part one of our Celebration recap.
Booyah.
We are normally joined by Roy, who is not here for reasons. even though he's
kid reasons, figuring out his phone reasons.
Right, we were supposed to record last night. We postponed a day for him to be able to make it here. Then his radiator blew, and then I was like, "Well, Skype in." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll call in. Like it'll be like regular radio." And I'm like, "No, it's the future. You're gonna Skype in." Because nobody wants to listen to somebody over a speakerphone.
Yeah, we could have totally had a three-way over here. A little wobbly H action with this video.
He still might join us. He downloaded Skype. I don't think he set Skype up. Roy is very much a creature of
the old ways.
Yes. I was trying to figure out how to put it delicately. He is non-technologically savvy. So
yeah,
we'll see if he joins in on this conversation at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But you and I, Aaron, we literally drove down to Celebration in Orlando.
23 hours in a vehicle. A Rogue, to be, what's the term?
To be precise.
Perfectly,
To be precise.
To be precise, but also it was fitting. It was very fitting to be in a Rogue.
Apropos. That's a word, right?
Sure.
Right, of all the things at Celebration that you can buy and people come back with, this kid came back with a car. He liked the Nissan Rogue that we rented for the trip so much that the day he went to return the rental, he left with the same type of car. But even better, right?
Yeah. So 2 days before we were about to take off, my car, and I've had nothing but problems with my car, which is not even that old. It's like 3 years off the lot from like a used rental place. But the latest problem with it was
we don't know how many assholes went on cross-country trips with it.
Well, so the latest problem with it was it started overheating. Like, it didn't overheat. Like, it wasn't overheating completely, but it would get to the line.
It's just running
and then
hot.
kind of drop down. And then, yeah, running hot. I'm like, what the fuck? So, I had it scheduled for service, but then I was also like, oh, I should probably trade it in. It's got under 100,000 miles. Probably be a good time to look into trading it in. So once we got back from Celebration, I was like, oh, let me look at these Nissan Rogues because it fit me, which is very hard. I'm 6'6", so normally cars are just like brushing up against my head and I don't have much leg room. So I'm like, oh, I'll check this out. So I go to the Nissan dealership to see what they have, and they got the motherfucking limited edition Rogue One Nissan Rogue sitting right there on the lot. And I'm like, it was meant to be.
In black with sunroof. All the bells and whistles?
Double moonroof.
Double moonroof. So, I always get confused with sunroof and moonroof. Moonroof opens or doesn't open?
So the moonroof doesn't open, but the sunroof does. So it has a sunroof and a moonroof, and it's like a double.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, my Scion had that then. All right. Yeah,
it was really cool.
Shit.
So we sat there for 5 hours and negotiated the fuck out of it because it turns out I got more fucked on my old car than I originally thought. So there was like they wanted to offer me shit, and I was like, fuck you. And Courtney's like, Courtney was the negotiator, the rough and tumble, like, your math and your shit doesn't make sense, sir. And I'm like, we need to stay on budget. So
Stay on target.
so she's arguing the parts of the car, like, oh, you know, you say they got the Carfax, and they're like, well, there's 3 owners, and it's been in an accident, and we don't know what accident it's been in, and it has 18 services since then, right? So we're like, oh Jesus, we got fucked, and I didn't originally know about the accident because the last place didn't disclose that, and they did some shady shit where they gave me it wasn't a Carfax, it was like a different VIN company that didn't have all of the information.
That's weird.
So they were like, oh, we'll give you $5,000 for the car, and I'm like, it's a fucking Infinity, fully loaded, like all the special features, bells and whistles, $5,000 bullshit, and 18 service things that they were trying to claim would lower the value are like oil changes. So it's like that doesn't reduce the car's value. That shows it's being serviced regularly, you fucks. So anyway, all said and done, they doubled the offer for my car, which basically paid it off anyway. And I walked away paying $50 more than I pay now, and with a brand new car that's got like 57 miles on it. So
not bad. Yeah, I liked the Rogue that we rented. It definitely was spacious. Even sitting behind you in the back seat, like I wasn't cramped. It was pretty good. I mean, if you didn't bring those creepy cat pillows, my back would have been wrecked. But like I just put that like at the small of my back, and it like helped me sit up straight. And my only complaint about the car was just the road noise, but you're not often going to be spending 17, 18 hours at a stretch in the car.
Exactly.
So, yeah, good times with that. But Star Wars Celebration. So this is the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, and we bought these tickets, I think the weekend they went on sale, almost a year ago. Pretty sure. Like,
almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah, this has been like a long time in the planning trip that we didn't even plan until like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those like I'm buying the tickets now. I'll figure out how to pay for it later.
Exactly. We got the 4-day pass because honestly, it was just cheaper to buy 4 days than 1 or 2 days. So we went for the first 3 days, and then on the fourth day we packed it up and went to the beach. we're in Florida, and let's take advantage of it because as soon as we got home, it's fucking cold and shitty out.
Oh,
that
Jesus,
happens every single time I go to Florida. Every single time I go to Florida, it's always like around April, and it's always the most beautiful, abnormally warm weather of like the year. Always in April. And then I leave for Florida, and it's 80 degrees here, and I come back, and the day I come back, it's always fucking goes back to rainy 40s, 50s, and shit. So every time. Like, I don't know why.
I had to sit outside in well, at least half the time I had to go sit in a softball game, and it was like, oh, I want to go back to Florida.
Yeah. So we got the 4-day pass, and turns out we didn't quite need it. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, so my company, the company I work for, Foster Grant.
Hold on. I don't know what the hell Roy's asking.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and we are suddenly joined by Roy, if you couldn't tell by the loud engine noise in the background of the recording now.
Sorry, guys. It's the best I could do. The Falcon is in need of repairs, so I'm trying to limp her home.
He is legit calling from the road right now, limping his leaky car all the way back home. Is it making like the Falcon sounds like when the hyperdrive doesn't activate? Did we lose him?
Oh, he's gone.
Did we lose Roy?
Ugh. Fuck you.
There it is.
You know, I'm probably going to get hit. You're probably going to hear the sound of me roll, the whole car rolling over. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be a glorious moment to forever immortalized on the podcast.
Yeah, podcast gold.
Is it really that loud? Is the engine noise really that loud?
Well, I mean, you can tell you're not sitting in a room. That's for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a spaceship.
Nice.
And the great thing,
Perfect.
though, the great
like
thing about Skype is when you're not talking, we don't hear that. It's just completely silent.
So I'm sorry, fellas. I've got plans to set up my fourth bedroom as a little studio of sorts, complete with I don't have an Armenian kitchen, but I'll have the curtain and all that other stuff. Hopefully, sound dead in it.
It's not an Armenian kitchen
Yeah,
anymore. It's now like a
boudoir.
Yeah, it's an Armenian porn studio. It's a casting studio. I just don't have the couch anymore down here.
I like it. All right. So I don't know if you guys talked about your trip, where you guys went to Celebration. What year was it? Celebration what?
2017. But I don't.
Yeah, but don't they have a number for it? Celebration 5 or whatever?
No, they don't count them. They just call them Celebration and then by the year, because they don't do it every year. It's like every other year or something like that. This is maybe the 6th one. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I thought the number 5 stuck out to me. I don't know why. I'm extremely jealous that you guys got to go, and my poor honky white ass couldn't get there.
Well, that's what we were just about to get into. We had said how we bought the tickets like a year ago, and we're like, we'll figure it out later. And I allocated a good amount of funds to this. We drove down because that was going to be way cheaper than buying a ticket, because for me and my kid alone, it was about $800 round trip just to fly to Florida, which is bullshit. $800 to fly to Florida.
For a 2-hour flight.
Yeah, on a fucking tinfoil Airbus. No.
Yeah, she's like a quarter of a person, so she should be like a quarter of the price. I don't get it.
You would think so, but even for a newborn, they would charge you a full seat. It's like airlines don't fuck around.
Yeah. Well, I would have loved to have seen. I was gonna say, I would have loved to have seen Cuba's lumpy head get smacked around on the seat rests. That would have been entertaining.
Oh please!
But
they tell me to get off the plane. I will gladly get off the plane and sue their ass. I don't need to stay on the plane and get an ass kicking. I will just get their money. But so we drove down. It was 3 adults, so that made this easier and more feasible to do, as opposed to one person and one kid driving down. Because we went. I originally said we'd do like 5-hour blocks, but we just kind of went as long as whoever felt like going. Which whatever, it turned out pretty good. And man, dude, that first night we fucking marathon, fucking drove through this ugly falling apart country of ours. I mean, how many times did we get lost south of DC and like take like a U-turn off the highway or stop to get gas, and it looked like The Last of Us. There's like 6 closed gas stations.
Oh, just meth country. It gets super methy after DC.
It was like damn.
Yeah, like look at the towns that America forgot. It was just like it was almost similar to the History Channel's When Humans Go Away or whatever the fuck that was called.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
Nature's retaking buildings and shit.
Like I said, I mean, it might as well be zombies. They're all filled up with meth. You know what I mean?
There was a lot of random dudes standing in the middle of the streets smoking cigarettes all over the South. I mean, almost everywhere we went, it almost exclusively at night, but a few times during the day, there'd just be a dude not standing in the grass, not standing in the sidewalk, not standing off to the side of the road, just in the middle of the fucking road, taking a drag.
Just look for the guy on the road. I got your stuff.
No, and we could do a whole episode on just the shit we saw. I mean, we passed some wild pigs on the side of the highway in Georgia. I mean, wild fucking pigs. Just
and fuck Celebration. The biggest thing of this trip, Wawa.
Yeah, exactly. Those of you
the hell's Wawa?
Oh, my friend, you need to travel more. I learned the glories of Wawa like 2 years ago, and now Aaron on this trip learned the glories of Wawa. So anybody who's listening outside of New England, and I don't think Wawa's out west. I think it's definitely like Pennsylvania down to Florida franchise. So Wawa is like the greatest fucking most convenient store there is. Like you will find anything and everything in a Wawa. Like you want beer? Wawa has it. You want wine? Wawa has it. You want gas? Wawa has it. You want a steak and cheese sub perfectly cooked? Wawa has it. Wawa has soups. Wawa has paninis. Wawa has healthy food. Wawa has pre-made sandwiches. Wawa has apple slices. Wawa
and
is
this
fucking
is
great.
in the South.
It's
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Okay, so you know when you pull up to a gas station and you're like, you walk in and like they're trying to be like a mini supermarket.
Yeah, but this is in the South.
Well, the closest Wawa I think we've ever seen, I've ever been to, was in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say because that sounds pretty antithetical to to Meth Town. What we were just saying, the rest of the meth country.
Oh no, but every Wawa is like nice and like clean and up to date. Like they all have touch screens. You want hot food at the Wawa, you go to the touch screen. You either pick your sandwich, your panini, your soup, whatever you want. You can customize it. If you want add extra bacon, you add extra bacon. Want extra cheese, you do that all on this touch screen. Then it prints out a receipt. You go grab your beer, you go grab your grapes, you go grab your shaving cream, you go pay, and then you just stand there and wait until your food is cooked. And then they call your number, you grab it, and you leave.
You know what I'm imagining it as now? Because since we're just I'm imagining like soft, soothing music playing, and basically in every like video game where shit goes crazy with this, zombies or monsters or whatever, you've always got like the save points where you can get like there's a merchant where you can like fuel up on resources and shit. That's Wawa. That is the save point of meth country.
I like that.
I
mean, I don't know if it's in all meth land, but definitely, I can see Wawa as being this. What you looking for, stranger?
Yeah, you spend your hard-earned credits from fighting meth zombies, and then you go to the local Wawa where you can get paninis.
It is the most. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
I like it. It sounds sounds mythical. I almost don't want to believe you. If you didn't have a corroborating witness, I might throw out your testimony.
If you come on a road trip with us, Roy, you will encounter the wonders of the Wawa.
That just sounds creepy. I like it.
So next time you have to go somewhere with us, but it's gonna be a while because I only cross the country like once a decade with this kid. And next year will be 10 years since we went from California to Mass. Now this last week we went from Mass to Florida and back. I'm good with another 10 years of being in the car for more than a few hours with him. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to see him right now, but I have to do it for the podcast.
You know what's next is San Diego Comic-Con. Now it's diagonally down.
That's not that far from where we started in California either.
So where we started before was across. It was like almost directly across.
No, yeah, almost directly across, but we did not go across. We went over. No, we went up because we went to Yosemite. Then we went way down because we went to Vegas, and then we went further down because we went to Roswell, and then we went up all the way up to Chicago, and then diagonal back home. We fucking zigzagged that shit.
Jesus Christ. You guys been everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
All across this wonderful falling apart country of ours.
I have been to way too many states with this kid than I would care to ever be.
I can't imagine
the whole vacation. I'm like, oh man, I wish my wife was here. Why do I go to all these states with Aaron?
And I'm like, why does Cuba keep touching my butt?
It's so big in the spacious Nissan Rogue. You get to spread out. Okay, we're going off topic with your spread out ass. So, Aaron, Why were we special at Celebration this year? Why did we not need our 4-day passes?
So the company that I work for does Star Wars product, and I told them a year ago when we bought these tickets that I would be going there. So that they should probably do something a year in advance. And I heard nothing. Radio silence until. So I gave them a 6-month warning. Hey, go in there. We want to do something. 3-month warning. Hey, we want to do something. And then they didn't figure it out until 2 weeks before we left. We should probably do something. So they ended up springing for sponsored. What was it called?
Exhibitor badges.
Exhibitor passes, which completely negated the passes that we bought in the first place. But it was good because it allowed us to get onto the floor early from 8.
Several hours earlier.
8 to whenever the fuck. The actual convention itself opened at 10 or 11 for the public, so we get to actually traverse around and get our bearings a bit before anyone else. It's pretty sweet.
And we got to skip many a line. And I don't think, and we'll go into our thoughts about Celebration, good and bad, and what we saw and everything. I don't think I could go again without being able to skip those lines. Because holy hell. I mean, after the first day, they made it. By the way, if anybody wonders where Roy is because they don't hear the Starship Enterprise in the background, is I think we lost him. I think we lost our Skype connection with him. I don't know if
I'm right there, and I hear
there he is.
Every fucking word you're saying. Fuck you and I, being fish-eating friends. I'm coming out of the booth.
Are you? It doesn't sound like you're in the car anymore. Where's your video, sir?
He probably has a piece of black tape over his his camera, so the NSA can't see him. All right, so we were able to skip so many lines with our exhibitor badges, and it definitely gives you a little bit of a power trip because we just kind of went up to the line and it was like exhibitor, and they're like, okay, you can go, except for a few select things. So for the major panels, you needed wristbands. And no, the exhibitor pass didn't help with that. Apparently, the magic pass would be the media badges when it came to those ones.
Which, if we do this again, hopefully this podcast is bigger and we can media badge it up.
Oh, I would absolutely love to do that. To get in with some equipment and some media badges. I didn't do too much for the podcast while we were there because it's a vacation and I'm trying to make sure a little kid I'm trying to make sure my kid didn't get trampled or run off.
Just a kid that you found.
No, I said my kid. I was just trying to hey, little kid, this little one over here. No. I brought my daughter, obviously, and that was the focal point of it. And if I took my eyes off of her,
bought a child when you were down there.
No, those are a dime a dozen. But
that's a Hasbro booth.
In meth country, life is cheap.
Yeah. If I wasn't on top of her, she would have been trampled by the crowd or ran off with one of the 20 BB-8s rolling around. Next time she'll be older, and we'll see. But yeah, media badge would be great. But our exhibitor badge is awesome because we got to go on the floor, like we said before anybody else, and that is the prime time. That's when they let the VIPs onto the floor too before the main crowd comes. So we got to quietly look at everything that was out on the floor, all the cool exhibits, all the vendors and stuff like that, which was great. And before the crowd just literally rushes in, because once 10 o'clock when it opens, it's I can't even describe it. It was just the clock turns 10 and you look to your right down the hallway and you just see a wave of nerds just coming your way, and it's
it's
brace
yourself. Simba in the middle of that friggin' trench with all the ox running through.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I'll describe Celebration this way. Overwhelming. It really was overwhelming, especially on day one. It was sort of half-ass organized, especially on day one, to the point where they issued an apology on day two because they only had one entrance open for everybody, so it wrapped around the building twice or something stupid like that. They weren't clear about needing the wristbands for the panels, so the VIPs, if you bought VIP tickets, which is like you emptied your life savings for the fucking VIP tickets and airfare and hotel. If you did
How
that.
much
They were
do you
like
know? Do you know roughly how
700
much that
bucks
was?
each.
Yeah, $700 a piece.
Yeah.
On top of
Jesus
airfare,
Christ.
on top of hotel, on top of food. So that's Aaron has a buddy that we met down there who's doing the VIP experience, and Aaron not being happy with anything he ever has, having the exhibitor badge, having more access than most people, being able to cut most lines, is constantly on his phone going, but he's at this panel, and he's getting to do this. And I'm like, dude, stop looking at your
Okay,
phone.
well-
Don't live through that, kid. It's like you can
Well,
cut the lines.
like you said, the major panels needed wristbands, and obviously the first two panels, which was the 40th anniversary panel, which was the very first one, and the Last Jedi panel, sold out immediately within like the first 5 seconds.
Because people were camping out like at 8:00 at night, and then at like midnight they would let them in, right, or something like that.
Yeah, they just like counted them on like one of those clickers, and then once it was already sold out at midnight.
Yeah, so I mean,
All
you stood
people.
no chance for
You know-
those
you
first
know,
two
man,
big panels.
I'm a tremendous Star Wars fan. Always have, always will be. But even I just want to I just that makes me want to be like fucking losers. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a bunch of nerds. It
I
really does. I'm just like,
definitely wouldn't
Jesus.
camp out. No way in hell. And all those panels are on YouTube now, so I don't really care about missing them. The panels we did see, I'm glad that we got into them, but they weren't that hard to get the wristbands for. We didn't have to camp out for them. So I mean, with the panels that we did see was what do we see? We saw
So the VIP pass lets you just go in. You can just go into any panel. You didn't need a wristband. So my buddy was posting pictures of like, the Mark Hamill tribute to Carrie Fisher, and he was like in aisle 2 with like a close up of the seat that he's going to sit in. So he's basically like right in front of Mark Hamill and all this stuff. Like, you motherfucker, like you son of a bitch. So I mean, like, I was thankful for what I got, but I mean, I definitely wanted to get into some of those major panels to begin with.
Yeah, but that's where you and I differ. You need to get into the panels. Like I didn't care. I didn't care that much. The panels that I wanted to get into, I got into. I kind of didn't expect to get into the bigger panels, but then also you fucking you used your Yeti powers to just go way ahead of everybody. You should have
Jedi powers.
Jedi. You should have seen this kid, because once he got he's like, we need to get those wristbands. He's half a mile ahead of us, and me, the two kids, and his wife to be are sitting there, or not sitting there, but we're walking, and she's like, Aaron. And he doesn't even fucking turn around. He's just beelining it right to the wristbands. I'm like, he doesn't give a shit if we don't get in, as long as he gets his wristband.
Well, it came down to like, I paid to go to this fucking thing. I'm getting into these goddamn things. I'm getting the most out of this friggin' convention.
Right,
And I had a
but you're leaving your family behind, kid.
No, I had a Coda, the youngest one. She kept up with me.
Not every time. Not every time. Fine, you should. So you and Dakota, and then it's like I'll be there with your woman. I was gonna say I'll stick it with your woman, but that wouldn't come out right.
He stuck to the code. Whoever fell behind got left behind. He cut that fucking rope. You guys were on your own.
And this is also a work vacation because of the exhibitor badges and everything like that. We had to promote the Star Wars sunglasses that his company has, and
So that's the hook.
that was the
There
hook.
we-
But also, I did more than him. We had.
You say that, but I mean, like, there's circumstances, man. So we had these cards that I made up.
My ass.
And this is, I mean, it's pretty much exclusive to the podcast because you're not going to hear it anywhere else. But if you go to fostergrant.com and you type in code word celebration at checkout, you get 40% off the box set Star Wars sunglasses, right? So I made up these cards. We're passing them out day to day. But I'm a 6'6" dude. No one's, and I'm like holding them. People aren't approaching me. I had Cuba's daughter like down next to me. She's handing them out. She's handing out more than I am because I'm handing them out, and they're like, nope, I don't, nope. Oh, like, or afraid to come near me because I'm freaking
That's
gigantic.
not it. That's not it. It's you
Are
have this.
pretty ugly.
Besides that, you have this giant puss face because you don't want to be doing that. You want to be.
It's not true at all. I was smiling the whole time. I was like, hey.
You wanted to be doing something else. I'm sitting there, and he's right in the main entry doorway as people are coming in. So I don't even know how he's
fucking people. He's playing fucking goalie.
I don't even know how he's not getting the numbers. So I'm like maybe 10 feet behind him, and then diagonal, I'm getting the people coming from another direction. And I'm running out of these fucking things. I'm sitting there. I'm everybody, like, waves of people are coming at me. I'm handing out 2 or 3 at a time to families.
Yeah, you want to know why, Cuba? We were in Florida. Okay, they're used to just Spanish people standing around handing them things.
Most of the people there aren't from. Everyone there is from Florida. And people, dude. You even said you were just handing them to people. I was telling people, I was like, hey, 40% off Star Wars sunglasses. 40% off. I'm giving them the information. I saw your wife fucking do the sales pitch to a couple of vendors, and I used her sales pitch, and I fucking did your job for you, man.
No, I was doing the exact same thing because people would like come near me, and I'd hold it out like with a smile, and they'd be like, ugh. And then I'd be like, 40% off Star Wars sunglasses, and they're like, no, and I'm like, you're in Florida. What do you mean? No?
I had so many people going, whoa, cool, great. And then like people would come to me because they see that I was handing out something to other people.
You know what? That happened too. You just did it faster than I did.
I do agree with Aaron on this. I got to side with him because you've got a pretty girl with, quite frankly, a big rack. You've got 2 cute, younger kids, probably very earnestly handing out cards. Hey. You've got a authentic looking Cuban Hispanic dude who just probably fits right the fuck in with the populace.
We're not in the overly Hispanic part of Florida. It's Orlando.
If you're not handing out cards, you're handing out oranges.
and then you've got a 7-foot tall, dour looking man child. Just
I wasn't dour looking.
You have a natural dour looking face.
Yeah, you always now.
You just look like you always look into like you bit into something really sour. Always. Like you just bit something into something and you don't know if you like the taste or not. You're like, So that's like your natural relaxed face. That's okay. I look like I'm about to murder somebody. Everybody always asks me,
"Oh, that's
hey,
true."
Adam, what's your problem? I just have a naturally heavy brow and dark eyebrows and dark eyes, so I just look like I'm always ready to. I look like a school shooter or something.
If he was there handing them out, I think security would have tackled him.
Yeah, well, I would have been approaching every big titty broad I seen. Hey, want some sunglasses? Blah 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 blah. But
Roy would have been beaten to death by the Mandalorians that were protecting the Slave Leia photo shoot.
I would have snuck my way in.
They had that locked down pretty tight.
I would have salicious crumbed my way right on in there.
You see, exactly. Oh, man.
What is it?
That's to be the cover photo for this episode. I have to find that Slave Leia shoot and then like find a picture of Roy laughing and like Photoshop it onto the Jabba's shoulder.
So recap, Cuba. What happened in these panels here? So we got the 40th anniversary panel, which was the big opener.
I was only going to talk about the ones that we actually attended because all the other ones you can just fucking go see online.
Okay. Well,
so then, what did you guys personally?
I want to talk about the 40th anniversary one because it was cool as far as like. So they brought out George Lucas. We haven't seen this guy since I don't even remember when.
2012 when he sold it to Disney and went into a cave.
Exactly. So like, holy shit, they got George Lucas. Then you had Hayden Christensen.
Well, he wasn't. Was he there? That was a different day. Dude, you fucking dying? Nope. Oh, I forgot. You got you got the con flu.
Yeah, I got the con scum.
What the hell? Okay, not even gonna ask.
Cold now.
I heard that Hayden Christensen actually got a really big applause. Like, not quite a standing ovation, but the crowd really went nuts for him.
Yeah, he hasn't been to a con since like 2002.
Can you fucking blame the guy?
Yeah, exactly. So seeing him, you're like, holy shit. So it's almost like this 40th anniversary convention almost solidified the past with the new. You know, it was like everything, all the pieces are coming together, and there's no longer the hate for the. I mean, there's hate for the prequels, but like it's not like it's still in George Lucas's hands. We're gonna hate it. It's like Disney's working. They're doing a good job. We can appreciate the past now, and hopefully they'll integrate it into the new future and make it relevant again. So it just seemed more cohesive. It felt like a family. It felt like the family you haven't seen in a long time. And the last time you met, it wasn't quite the best. You got drunk. You know, you hit on your aunt or something like that.
It was the Thanksgiving after Trump got elected, and it was awkward stares and conversations.
But no, it was cool. Then they had John Williams come out, and he did a...
that was probably the biggest surprise of that first big panel, was nobody was expecting John Williams to come out of the corner with a full orchestra and perform several songs.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That's sweet. Harrison Ford was there, and Lando Calrissian.
Yep, Lando was there. The whole thing was hosted by Warwick Davis. He was like kind of like the Celebration Grand Marshal, I would say, because he was like the host of like most of the major panels, and the first one, the closing out one, several others, and fun story is I was going up the escalator at one point. There's to the second level. And he zooms by me going into an elevator, and a tiny little Segway. I didn't know they made Segways that small. It was adorable.
Yeah, then, like, the second major biggest panel was the Last Jedi one with the trailer, and we didn't actually get into that one, but we got to stand on the floor by Star Wars Live, the Star Wars show live, and the fucking crowd was insane.
Yeah,
so not only did it fill the main auditorium, the two auditoriums that were streaming it, but the floor was just insanely packed.
Yeah, I had to go stand way, like all the way in the back, literally against the wall, temporary wall set up for one of the vendors. And then I had to prop my kid up on one of the cafeteria chairs so she could see. And then we could see the tiny little fucking screen that was completely inadequate for the size of the crowd that was trying to watch it on the floor. And I'll be honest, like I didn't hear a goddamn thing. I couldn't hear what they were talking about the entire panel. And then the trailer, yeah, it was cool. I honestly didn't even really see it until yesterday, like that, because they showed it twice, and it's like, oh, okay, visually, I think what I'm seeing is cool. I can't hear it, and then I think later on in the car or something we watched it, but it's still like sun glare and stuff. So I cast it from my computer onto my TV yesterday when you were asked about it, Roy. Actually, I'm like, you know what? I haven't given this thing like a full on viewing yet. So 4 days later is when I finally saw the fucking trailer.
Do you guys want to get into what you thought about? What you guys thought about it, or do you want to wait until a little later?
I mean, it's a Star Wars trailer. They give you just enough to get excited.
It was a teaser. It's the beginning of the avalanche of too much information that will be coming.
We stop after the second trailer, and then we'll go into the movie fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's the thing is, I thought they gave this was the perfect trailer. They showed you just enough. You know what I mean? Like a lot the way the Force Awakens one, the very first trailer, and then like you guys said, the second trailer, it showed way too fucking much, and you kind of you know what I mean?
I think the first trailer.
This was on par with the second trailer of the Force Awakens, because like the first trailer was very vague for the Force Awakens, and the second one gave you like this type of a trailer where the story was sort of implemented, but it didn't give you really any information.
Right.
You know, you're right. The first one, I guess you would, for the Force Awakens, you would kind of classify as like, I split them up as teasers, which are very, very short, and then you've got, your first, like, this was like more of a trailer, not quite a teaser. It was what, a minute and a half long, 2 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, I think a trailer length is somewhere around 2. Anything shorter than that is,
And you asked me, Roy, yesterday, like what I felt about it, and I don't feel anything negative about it, besides the fact that they changed Kylo Ren's scar, and I read that it's because the director just thought it was silly the way it was. I'm like, too fucking bad, guy. That's how he got cut. It's just like, doesn't matter if you think it's silly. You should have been vetoed on that point. But besides that,
his his face almost got cut apart. Like
right,
it should have
exactly.
been.
They moved it from across the center of the face to like just like Anakin over the eye, and I'm like, and it was way too thin. It was like a pencil thin scar.
Yeah, it should have been like a straight up burn scar, like just crazy, like.
I read a lot of funny things online. People saying like, well, he got into a Bacta tank and then healed it, and then he cut himself so he looked more like his grandfather.
What I think they should have done is that eye should have no longer been usable. Like he couldn't see and it couldn't be recovered. So then he has to have some sort of
cybernetic eye,
cyborg eye.
Yeah, cybernetic. But of course, it would be red, and there's your connection to the Sith. Even though he's not an actual Sith, he still somehow ended up with some sort of a red eye, like the Sith would. Even though it's not Sith.
Yeah, I feel so much more could have been done with that. We'll see when the movie comes. But when you asked me yesterday, like how I feel about the trailer, I don't feel anything negative about it. Like I don't think it was a bad trailer. I don't think it's going to be a bad movie. But for some weird reason, I'm not excited about it. I don't know why. I just like. I think it's with The Force Awakens. It's like, whoa, this is the first new Star Wars. We never thought we were going to get new Star Wars again, so this is exciting. This is fucking crazy. What is this story? What happened in these 30 years? Now, this one is like, yeah, I want to know what Luke's been up to. I want to know what comes next for Rey and Finn and all these characters. But I'm not excited about this for some reason. I'm not overly giddy. I got way more excited about the trailer for Rebels Season 4 than I did for The Force Awakens. And I don't know if it's just because the mystery is... There is no aura of mystery around this new movie. Like, again, we don't know what is going to happen. It's still all uncharted Star Wars territory. But I'm especially after Rogue One, I've fallen more into Roy's camp, where I see more of the flaws in The Force Awakens, and I feel Rebels and Rogue One did a way better job at Star Wars.
It was so much fucking better than Force Awakens was. I told you that.
But like, and Force Awakens isn't bad. It's still a good movie. But
yeah, it's not terrible. But like I said, when you're starving, even something that's normally not, anything tastes good when you're dying of thirst.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if this is like biases because I am so much more partial to the original trilogy. I just love that era, and then the more time goes on, the more I don't like how things did not change as much by the time of The Force Awakens. Like, why are they still using X-Wings? Why are they using A-Wings? Why did the First Order... Why are they still using TIE fighters?
Come on, man. They changed the colors, though.
I know. I get it. But it's like, in Return of the Jedi, we were introduced to the TIE Interceptor. That was the future of the TIE fighter. So logically, the First Order would take that design and improve upon it. But instead, we just get black TIE fighters.
That's because The Force Awakens is just a rehash of the other movies.
I know, and that's what makes me afraid for this one. Maybe that's why I'm not excited, because it's like, are we just going to get the Empire Strikes Back light?
I don't think so.
Is that because even in the trailer when they show like the weird speeders kicking up the red dust, which is like, wow, did you even copied your X-Wing shot from the last movie? In the background of that scene, you see walkers off in the distance. It's like, are these the same fucking walkers that the Empire used 30 years ago? Or do these ones have, like, 5 legs?
I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm almost wondering, like, does Hasbro have, like, a say in what gets shown in the movies? Because they, like, show a concept of, like, we could sell this toy, put it in the movie kind of thing. But
you have a friend at Hasbro, and that's a story that we also have to tell of this celebration. But maybe you can ask him that. Maybe we can get him on this podcast and ask him that.
We'll see. What was I going to say? Oh, the director. The director of this movie did Looper, and Looper was really good.
Yeah, Looper was a great movie, definitely.
Well,
so
the director
what?
The director also said early, a while ago, that people who were upset that The Force Awakens was just kind of the same old hat, that they'll be surprised with this movie because he's going to do weird things that haven't been done in Star Wars. He said that he was gonna do different things.
No.
So, and that's when
Hopefully.
that piqued my interest. That's what piqued my interest. I said, okay, well, and one thing that I found kind of interesting is that I don't believe in this trailer we saw, we didn't see any aliens. It was a teaser kind of, so we didn't see any we didn't see anything new, except for the big drop when apparently Luke says something. And I'm not even convinced that's Luke.
It's Luke.
Who says it?
It's definitely Luke. I've read transcripts. It's Luke.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
God damn. Well, then again, I mean, they also have been known to use misdirection like they did in Rogue One. So I'm in this weird...
none
You
of the
can't count
Wookiees are
Rogue.
actually
You
gonna
can't
be in
count
the
Rogue
movie.
One. I mean, they filmed the entire movie and then went back and refilmed the entire movie.
Well, no, even the Force Awakens had that scene where Kylo Ren throws out the lightsaber, ignites it close to the camera, and you see Rey and Finn in the background. They
Yeah, but
didn't have
that was just an alternate scene. That wasn't something,
They should've
half
kept
of
it.
Rogue One was just all completely reshot. So I mean, that,
yeah.
Speaking of the 3D Blu-ray Super Edition comes out on May 4th.
of Rogue One.
Yeah. So we don't have too long to wait to actually get some goddamn deleted scenes.
Where are your sources? I haven't read this. You lying to me, boy?
BestBuy.com.
Okay, great. Because I'm so that's different from the one that just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Why the fuck would you do that? I mean, I understand waiting till Christmas to release the better version, but why wait a month?
May the 4th. They needed something for May the 4th.
That's bullshit, dude. That's an even better one better not come out at Christmas time.
Of course it will. Come on, man. It'll have that smell-o-vision that Aaron loves so much.
Ooh. Smell of the couch.
So the panels that we got into in response to everything being sold out, we got into the heroines panel, which was basically the female empowerment of Star Wars characters, which was pretty sweet.
It was it was definitely a good panel, and there was a good surprise in it because we got the speakers were Ashley Eckstein, who's Ahsoka. I forget the actress's name, but she does the voice of Sabine, and then Daisy Ridley came out as a surprise. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
It was weird too because the moderator Amy something or other was
Amy Ratcliffe was the moderator on
Amy
that
Ratcliffe was she's talking to Daisy Ridley, and Daisy Ridley's smiling hey, I'm glad to be here, whatever. They handed out these new Hasbro toys, which are Force of Destiny, which are basically action figure Barbies. So she's like, oh, these are so cool, and they were talking about how
they're talking about that new series. It's a new series of shorts of
by GhostBot, the people who used to do the Esurance commercials, that were spy related. That company's doing these new animated 2D shorts with all the different.
But they showed us the first one, and it was cool. I liked it. I dig it.
I like that. I see. That's one thing. That's one reason I can't get. I like the first season of Rebels, and I've watched an episode here or there on YouTube or whatever. I watched Maul get. Well, I don't know how far you are, so I don't want to use spoilers.
I'm not there.
They already spoiled it in the panels.
That's what I was gonna say. I shut my mouth. But
so
I can't get over the bobblehead animation. I never liked it from the very beginning. They have refined it and they've made it better. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, but it's just like Clone Wars. The story surpasses any problem with the animation in Rebels.
For me, it did with Clone Wars towards the end, but Rebels, it doesn't. I don't know why.
It will. It's same problem. The first season is setting it up, and then as it goes, it gets better and better and better.
Yeah, Rebels is so. The first season of Rebels is good but weak, and then
Space Aladdin.
Starting with season 2, it fucking takes off. It is the most Star Wars property out there. I love it. I absolutely love Rebels. Just seeing the building of the rebellion is fantastic.
It just didn't grab me, and I think it's personally. Again, this is just purely personal aesthetics. I'm not a fan of that animation style. I really, really liked the 2D animation style of the guys who did Samurai Jack. For the, I can't remember. Did they just call it?
They just
Clone
call it
Wars?
the Clone Wars micro series.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
And I
these-
really love that.
Yeah, these
Sorry.
Ghostbot animations are definitely done in Flash, so they're not the best, but they're still pretty sweet.
Oh, they were good. They're good. I dig it. Now, the only thing I didn't quite get about the Forces of Destiny was, does it only focus on the female characters, or are they going to tell other tales?
I think they're going to tell other tales because the toys that they gave out were the girls on the floor, but if you went down to the Hasbro booth, they had like a bunch of different characters.
Yeah. I don't care either way. I think either way it'll be good. I was just curious. I mean, it makes sense because they focused. It was like, it was the heroines of Star Wars panel, so it makes sense to focus on the shorts of the heroines. But I wasn't sure if it was only the heroines of Star Wars that were going to be featured in these shorts.
Yeah, but they got all the actual actresses and actors, actresses for sure, to actually star in the 2D. So you have Daisy Ridley's voice, you have that chick who played Jyn or so, Felicia something, and it looks pretty sweet.
Someone else.
What was
Felicity.
What was funny?
Felicity.
Yeah. So Daisy Ridley's out there just like talking, happy to be there, and then Amy goes, "Okay, well, thanks, Daisy," and she's like, Am I going? You're like, I think so. She goes, okay, bye. Just like walks away.
There's a little miscommunication going on there. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Like if she had she probably doesn't know where she has to be that whole time. And she was only there for the first 2 days, I think, too. So
yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot to do. Like maybe she had to get to like the autograph section or something like that. But that was a cool panel.
The thing I like about her is that you can tell that in real life
she's excited
she's
about
just
it.
Like, well, not only that, but she's goddamn adorable. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that she's got that like awkward, like, but like Aaron just said, excited to be there.
Yeah.
You know, like she's new. She's sort of new at it, I guess you could say. Like, for such a huge role, and she's just happy to be there. She's excited and earnest, and you can see like which am I going to here? Am I going to here? You know what I mean? You can see like older actors like Harrison Ford just being like,
oh yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah. Harrison Ford was sick of it with Empire, but John Boyega's the same way. He's super excited to be there and all giddy and everything like that. It's cool to see that excitement. Same thing with most of the cast of Rebels. Hearing Freddie Prinze Jr. talk, he's super excited to be part of Star Wars. Again, I am blanking on her fucking name, but the girl who does the voice of Sabine is very excited to and she's wicked nervous. Dave Filoni, like, you can tell totally intimidates her.
What was funny in that heroines panel too was like the Amy chick was like, and we have a special surprise for all of you here. You get toys, and like handed the toys out to all the girls, and Dave Filoni's like, where's my toy?
Yeah, he's like, I don't see a little guy with a cowboy hat.
You said everyone gets a toy. And then like they went back to like talking to him about like, creating characters that females can look up to. And they're like, oh, do you have any sad stories or whatever? He's like, well, yeah, this one time I was sitting on stage and they said that they were going to give toys out to everyone and they didn't give one to me. It was a freaking riot.
See, if there's any person that I really wanted to meet there, it's actually Dave Filoni. I would, if I understood the autograph thing better, I probably would have gotten in line for an autograph with him, or if I captured him in the hallway or something like that, because maybe the older generation has George Lucas, and we complain about George Lucas a lot on this podcast and a lot on the previous podcast, but you got to give the man credit that he created Star Wars, so he's got that. He's not the best writer, but it's fucking George Lucas. But Dave Filoni, to me, he is carrying the torch of Star Wars. He was like the personal protege of George Lucas. He was his Padawan. Lucas taught him everything that he knew, and Filoni now took that. And he's not directing the movies, but what he's doing with all the animation, him and Pablo Hidalgo, who's like the head of the story group, which keeps everything canon, Those two guys are steering Star Wars. Whatever happens in the movies, they have a huge role in it too, especially when it came to Rogue One. So many.
Yeah, they're
things
either
were put in
setting up
Rogue
the
One.
story or they're playing the role of the writers to weave it all in together.
Exactly. And what's so cool about it, as I said to you, Roy, the other day, was that in this era of Star Wars that we're in, I think I love this era more than any other era of Star Wars because it's finally in the hands of the fans. All these things, even Star Wars Battlefront 2, we went to that panel and, you know, there's some cool information and the game looks cool and legit from what we've seen. It's just, you know, we've all been burnt by EA so much that I'm just like, I'm still not buying it. This is, you know, everything right now is being made by the fans. The people who made that game, huge fans. They're all from all over the world. One of them was from Germany. He even showed on the big projector screen his 1984 German Jedi fan club card. That's how much of a fan this dude was. You know, so Filoni's a fan, Hidalgo's a fan. All these people are fans, and they're all now making Star Wars. They are, and that's the coolest thing to me. That is George Lucas was not a fan of Star Wars. It was different from him. He created it.
He was a dictator. He was the
the
North Korea of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand. It's his baby. It's what he wants is what he wants. He viewed Star Wars more as a project, a continuous work of art. He wasn't a fan of it. He didn't grow up with it like everybody.
He didn't live in the world.
Yes, now everybody is like, I lived these stories via book, video game, comic books, movies, and now I have a chance to play in this sandbox. And that's what I think is so cool about this. And that's definitely what I've taken away from all these panels at Celebration, is that it's finally in the hands of the fans where I think Star Wars belongs. And we're going to end this one right here. Thank you for listening to part 1 of our Star Wars Celebration recap. We'll catch you on the flip side with part 2.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Her name was Leia. She was a princess with a Danish on each ear and Darth Vader drawing near. So R2-D2 found Ben Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
He'd have to put the Death Star plans into the rebellion's hands. So Luke and Obi-Wan had to get to Alderaan. So they stopped into Mos Eisley to have a drink with Han at the Star Wars